In this video, I'm going to talk to you about why I chose not to use AI for my headshots. Hi, I'm Yasmin Vorajee. I'm the creator of Tiny Time Big Results, and I help women redesign scattered and undercharging businesses into premium businesses without working more hours. So let me tell you the story about me and AI and using it for headshots. And I'm hoping that by sharing this video and sharing my story, that's going to help you in your business to really determine what you're going to be doing in your business. Now, I'm very much in two minds around AI, right? Very much two minds about it, because I'm like, okay, a lot of ethical concerns, obviously environmental concerns, and that really preys on me. And then on the other hand, I also have a deep curiosity for learning and for like kind of going, I wonder how this could work, that could help me. Now, I want to be very clear. I am not talking about creating content, because for me, that's very personal. That's me. That's my thoughts, my thinking process, my perspective. And so it's not that I'm going to use it for, right? I would be more in the line of, how can I use it to help me build a really strong business system? How can I help it? How can I use it to build business infrastructure, the back end of the business, rather than content and photos, right? Which is obviously what I'm going to be talking about. So I'm very much in two minds about it. But then I saw an ad about using AI for a photo shoot, and I was really curious to see how this could work, right? So I got the software and created some photos. Like, it was just like a morning's worth of work for me. And I was really interested to see the results, okay? Because because they were really good. They were really good. I was like kind of going, oh, I like these. Now, some of them were like, my hair was very long and then it was really short. So they were inconsistent, but they looked good, right? And they looked pretty real to me, right? I asked my 3 children who were under the age of 16, and all 3 of them were like, no, you can't use that. You can't use that. And I was like, what? What do you mean? They look pretty good to me. And they were like, no. And they're like, that's AI, Mom. And I must have done too good of a job talking about the ethical concerns and the environmental concerns and everything. So anyway, so they were like dead against it. My husband really liked them. My best friend really liked them. My sister really liked them. And I was like going, oh, okay. Again, I was quite torn. And interestingly enough, I was kind of like sitting with it. I didn't use them. I just sat with it because I just felt this little seed of doubt in my mind. And maybe you can relate to this as well. Maybe you're like me, that you're kind of like in between thinking about like, oh, I could really use AI and don't want to use AI, right? I attended a training recently where the conversation was very much around using AI, for different roles in your business. And all I could think was, but that's somebody's job gone, or that's somebody's role gone. And, so all of these thoughts are always going around in my head. So let's get back to the photo shoot. Right. So had the photos and everything, had this seed of doubt, and I was just like, I don't think I can use these, right? And I'll tell you why. And you might be able to resonate and relate to this as well. And this gets you thinking about how you're going to use AI in your business, or whether you don't use it at all. But I'll tell you why I said that I could not use these. My most important values in business are trust, connection, authenticity, being real. And I felt like if I put those pictures out there, and if there was even a little seed of doubt in your mind as to whether my photos were real or not, if there was even a tiny little mustard seed of doubt, then for me, that is like game over, right? Because for me, I want you to trust me, because if you're going to come and work with me, I'm going to help you redesign your business. I am going to help you transform your business, but I want you to trust me to know that you are in safe hands. But if you look at my photo, if you look at my content and go, like that image looks fake, what else is fake? Like, it literally is just this, slippery slippery path that I do not want to go down, right? Because for me, trust is so important. And trust is, even if you strip out everything in business, in your relationships with your partner, with your spouse, with your children, with your family, your friends, your colleagues, your clients, right? Trust is at the heart of all of that. And anything that erodes that trust, it's a no-go for me, right? I also asked my clients in my Rich by Design program, which is my 12-month program that really shows you how to redesign your business to stop it from being all scattered and undercharging. And, it's a business program that shows you how to take your expertise and really turn it into the business that you deserve. So I showed them some of the photos, and I was really keen to get their opinion. And what was interesting was the kind of like the general sentiment was, I don't really like these photos, but they're not the worst that I've seen, right? So they come out well, like the photos were good, but it's that sense of like, this is fake, this is not real. I also was like panicking going, God, what if somebody says like, have you got that jumper? Because the clothes in it, I just gave it a prompt and it created like a sparkly, red jumper or something. I don't have that jumper in my closet. So it was kind of bringing up a whole bunch of stuff for me. And I'm sharing this with you because I think this is a really, really important discussion that we need to have, right? Because we can run with technology, but you've got to make sure that it's aligned with your values. And for me, it was just about trust. It was about making sure that my clients can trust me, that I don't want there to be anything that's going to erode that. Because for me, that's a no-go, right? And also when I'm thinking about like my business, your business, when you're thinking about a premium business, you want people to really feel that sense of safety with you. And I think that is so, so important. So I decided that I was not going to use those photos. However, I still did want photos. So I got very resourceful and we had a photo shoot. And if you go to yasminvorajee.com, you will see the new photos that were created, right? And I've got to tell you, the energy around these photos are so different because it's me. It's actually me. I am in those photos, right? There's no doubt that I'm in those photos because it's me. I was there. I was holding the cup. I was, working at the laptop, doing all of the things. I had my little, all my little props and things like that. Like every single photo that you will look at that I've put out is actually me. And here's the thing, right? Because, so much of what I teach in my business programs and when my clients are working with me is about strategy. Yeah, it is absolutely about strategy. But there's also a huge piece around energetics, right? And that's the heart of it, because when you look at these pictures, it's like when you look at a picture, you really get a sense of someone's energy, someone's vibration, someone's frequency. And that was really what was missing from the AI ones, because that's not me. Yeah, it looks like me, but it's not me. Whereas the pictures that are on my website and will be all over my social media and everywhere, they are me. I absolutely know. And I'll know that, we took this at this spot in, whatever, in April 2026, right? So, and I think that's really important because we make decisions about who we work with based on a variety of conscious factors, but also a lot of subconscious and unconscious factors. And trust is one of those things where, where you just kind of feel like, oh, there's just something not quite right here, right? And you've got to listen to that little voice because that's your instinct, that's your intuition, that's telling you about whether something is right for you or not. And so I wanted to share this story with you because I just thought it was a really great, example of how we're trying to navigate this AI age, right? There's lots of people out there that are telling you you've got to go with it, otherwise you're going to get left behind. I'm very much still in two minds. And really what I'm leaning more towards, as we're having this conversation, I'm going to tell you what I'm really leaning towards is no to the photos, no to the content creation, all that kind of stuff. But it's very much for me around how can I use it to build business infrastructure that really helps to streamline those businesses, which is what I know you want, because, you know, if you can get things off your plate so that you can actually do more of what you're here to do, you know, if you're a coach, if you're a consultant, you're an expert, you've got expertise and you love doing what you do, but you're like, oh my God, the business. Like for me, when a client comes to work with me, typically they're so good at what they do, but they find the business piece of it a struggle, right? It's not their thing, and they're just like, oh my God, I just need help with that, right? So if I can use it to help you to streamline, to simplify, to make it easier for you to make more money without working more hours, then absolutely, I'm curious to learn more about that. But that does not take from me you know, like using my image or like making it create content for me, because that's me, right? And that's very personal. And that's what I really want you to think about for you in your business as well, is what's right for you, what's in line with your values. And your values can absolutely be about the environmental concerns as well, and the fact that it is getting, you know, quite forced on everybody as well at the moment, if you can say that. You know, so there's lots of things to be thinking about. This was just one example that I really wanted to share with you because I just thought it was a really useful example. And I'd be really, really curious to hear your thoughts. So pop your questions, comments below. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you might have. Yeah, so let me know. And if you are that person who is like, I am really good at what I do, right? But it's not becoming the business that I want it to be. If you are scattered, if you are undercharging, if you feel like you're, you know, pulled in a million and one different directions, and you're like, I just want to have a business where I get paid really well for what I do, what comes really easy to me, and I don't have to work long hours. I can work in 20 hours a week. Then I want you to come and book a call. I'm going to put the link below. We can talk about how this works for your business, how I can help you. You can also get my Business of Expertise collection, which is like 15 courses and masterclasses that really show you how to build the business that your expertise deserves. And the link is going to be down there as well. So I hope this has been useful. Let me know in the comments, and I will see you the next time.